practice. And so don't be surprised that you maybe your expectation you cannot, what you're expecting from it today, that you don't get the full of it. But I think just interaction with me, you can learn a lot. I will briefly talk about myself, and through talking about myself, you will get some idea who am I, and then my connection with research, and then talk about my network, African network, then end up with this research situation in Africa. Yeah, the presenter, the moderator already presented me. I was originally from Cameroon. I hope you are following. I hope you are seeing. This is yellows.
We can see, Prof. Please
you
go
can
ahead.
see. Okay. Okay, let me go back. So I was born in Cameroon, 20th of May, which is the National Day of Cameroon also, 1966. So this year I'm going to be 60. According to the Jewish calendar, it was the figure 5,726. Okay, and so yeah. I did French. I'm born from the English-speaking part, but I grew up in the French-speaking part of Cameroon. So I was the only Cameroonian who did both the French baccalaureate and then English advanced level. Because I went to schools. My secondary school was a bilingual high school in Boya. And I'm saying all these things to see how you are prepared for research, for your activities in life. So the fact that I am perfectly bilingual, I speak French and English, plays a big role in the whole my activities also later on in research and coordinating international network, being an evaluator for the World Bank, for partnership program. Those things this languages play a big role. And this is what I want to say for the first thing. I know most people, English speakers, they prefer just English is the international language spoken all over the world, but learning other languages is a big plus for a researcher. Yeah, okay, that's the first point that you have to note. Learning, if you can learn or speaking. Okay, as a Nigerian, most of you are from Nigeria. I think you speak not only English, but you speak also your mother tongue. You speak maybe other Nigerian languages. But at the international realm, if you can learn Spanish or German, do it. It is always a plus. Yeah, for your scientific career, to build a Spanish network. And I studied physics and chemistry at the University of Yaoundé. Then I had my bachelor with honors in 1991. Then before moving to Germany, where I did my master's in 95, PhD habilitation. I'm the first Cameroonian to do habilitation in chemistry in Germany. And yeah, I would say how did I get to Germany is through my social engagement. I was very active in the church where I was in Cameroon. So when you are ready to give, you always receive. There's an aspect of life that we have to learn. Sharing, giving. The more you sacrifice the time, the more you also receive. You receive. Yeah, this is an aspect that one has to take into consideration. Many people nowadays are more or less extremely egocentric. It means I think only about myself, and we've become too money-minded. I'm trying to see the context. I know Nigeria. Okay, I'm from Cameroon, but I would say I know Nigeria very well because I come from the English-speaking part, and I'm interacting with Nigerians from my childhood. The village that I grew up, I was interacting with people from Calabar, the BBO. So I've been at my younger age, I could understand because the church that I could understand a bit of BBO, okay, because the church that I was going, we had a lot of people from Calabar and from that specific tribe, and we were getting preaching from Efik, so I could listen, I could understand somewhere. Now I've forgotten some of the words, but I could follow up in those days. So I want to say that I understand the situation in Nigeria very well when it comes to many aspects, whether it's religious or financial and so on and so forth. I said it's not on, when it comes to this egocentrism, it is a situation which is found all over Africa and which is also hindering our development. Why? Because most of us, we want to make money as fast as possible. Money is more, we adore money, and it's hindering most time the development, our self-development, and also the development of our countries, because when we have opportunity, we'll just try to put money in our pockets, which is not the right thing. Okay, I said this social engagement played a big role to open my way, because I was active in the church, and then the German pastor, he was a German, the family helped me to come to Germany, and in 1992, and then did what I did. I'm a very spiritual person. I pray a lot. I want to bring this aspect. We cannot separate the physical world from the spiritual world. And if somebody tells you that, is doing a mistake. I'm a spiritual person, spiritual in the sense that I'm a Christian. I'm just a normal Christian, but I'm somebody who prays a lot, somebody who brings God into my research. I want to give you an example. During my habilitation is after PhD. If you want to become professor, associate professor in the German system, you do a habilitation, means you do research for 6. The PhD takes around 3 years. It depends. People who are fast take 2.5, 3 to 4 years in Germany. Then the habilitation normally takes 6 years. During the habilitation, you, as a researcher, you have to you supervise already PhD students and also master students, and then this is part of the whole process. And then you have to start a new research topic. That's the thing. You have to start a new research topic away from what you did in your PhD, because you need to become an independent researcher. And for that, my mentor, okay, there at the habilitation level, you don't have a supervisor, you just have a mentor. Okay, and my mentor, it was a lady. So after my PhD, I wanted to do. I was thinking of taking a building block of a photoactive building block to incorporate it in a commodity polymer. And I tried different methods. It did not work in the lab. But the most important thing in research, which I want to tell you, because we are talking about research here, the most important thing in research is not to give up. Most time when you are searching for something, in research, you will not find what you are searching for, but you will find something. But having the spirit of research, that I am searching, I'm looking for something, I want to get to this point, you will try, and because you are putting a lot of effort, and because I bring the spiritual part, because you'll be praying, what happens is that God will lead you to something else. And that's what happened with me. I was trying to building a building block. I will have shown you all those things, but I do not have time to prepare all the slide. But I'm just telling, but next time, I hope I will have opportunity again to talk to you. So I was trying to do this, put this building block into a commodity polymer, and it did not succeed. Then my supervisor told me, Daniel, I want you to come, my mentor that day, come to my office. That was a day. Come to my office so that we can exchange. We can exchange on what you want to do. You know what I did? I went to the toilet. Closed the door, and I prayed. I said, God, give me an idea, give me wisdom. Somebody speaking behind. Hello? Are you getting me?
Yeah. Stephanie, I think you need to unmute. Abba, Stephanie.
Yes. Prof, continue, please.
I hope I'm telling a story. Okay. Yeah. So as I said, my mentor told me to come to the office so that we can discuss what I'm doing. And as I said, I've been trying to incorporate this photoactive building block into a commodity polymer. It was not functioning, and I was frustrated. But I tried and tried. And that day, she said, "Comes to my office." So I went to the closet, means in the toilet. It's a funny thing to say that, but I went in there, closed the door, I prayed. I said, "God, how can I go to my mentor today without knowing what to tell her?" After that prayer, I said, "God, give me wisdom, give me an idea." I went back to my table in the office. I started writing something. Next time, I will show you all those things. I started writing something on my paper. I said, and I need to, if you people understand chemistry, normally I would have done a reduction of an aldehyde into alcohol, then use the alcohol to create polyurethane-based material. So, but I said, okay, with this aldehyde, actually with aldehyde, I've seen somebody using aldehyde to create double bond. I said, used with bisphosphonate. And that's how that day, after praying, after then sitting on my table, this idea came. And suddenly I was so excited. I went to my supervisor. I told her the idea. If I would, let me just show you. And then I started working on this class of material. You see this class of material, which are called the polyarylene ethylene and polyarylene vinyl. Yeah. So this class of material was an inspiration given by God. But God saw my effort that I've been trying to get to somewhere, and upon praying, I got the idea to. Yeah. So that's how I started my habilitation research. And when I got the idea, the first thing was to synthesize a polymer. I synthesized one first polymer for the same one, and I was so excited. It was colorful, and then I said, let me publish. I submitted a publication. For just that one polymer. The publication was rejected. I want you to learn something from this thing. The rejection was an open door for me. If that publication was accepted, my research would have been closed there. Understand? It was rejected. And because the one of the reviewer said, with one polymer, that doesn't make any sense. I need more polymer. I said, okay, if he needs more polymer, what will I do? I will just change the side groups. What are the side chains? Yeah, the side chains, which have this R, are there to make such polymers soluble in organic solvent, okay, for processability and so on. So I had prepared one polymer, submitted it was rejected, and from that rejection, I was forced to do other polymers, adding other type of side chain. By doing this, suddenly what I discovered was that the side chain, because the color of the polymer changed from the first polymer I did to the second, I saw different colors coming in. I saw different properties just by playing with side chain. And that's how that rejection of that first paper broaden up was an open door for me. Sometimes when you, as a wrong researcher, you submit a paper, what happens most time when it's rejected, you get angry. Oh, why did this guy reject? I've done wonderful thing. But most of the time, if you look closely to what the rejected paper, most of the reviewer will give you their comment. You will have done this and that, and this is what happened to me. And it broadened the rejection, opened my research field So I started doing the studies of side chains on different properties of such this new class of material that I have initiated. So we studied the influence on electrochemical properties, on photoconductivity, electroluminescence, in solar cells, in transistors. We did thorough study. And I said, thanks to that guy who rejected my paper. And this is something which you should know. Rejection is not the end of your research. Maybe it's the starting of your research. Going back to my story, then I moved to different universities. After my habilitation, I moved to Max Planck, Eindhoven, and all these stations helped me to broaden my research view. And I want to say that I dwell with my class of material up to today. I'm still working in the same class of material, but going deeper and deeper. I said, I am not a research prostitute. I said some people are doing prostitution in research. Why? Because when a topic, most times there are hot topics. A topic pop us. What people do, okay, you abandon what you are doing and jump into it because it's now the hot topic. I believe in, I call it a conservative research approach. Conservative research approach, you go deeper. You do, and out of it, people gain, the scientific world gains more insight than gain more insight in knowledge is gained if you go, you focus on one thing and do it consequently, consistently, and in a conservative, I call it a conservative research approach. And this is what I've been doing for more than 20 years, focusing on this class of material. This is just a general overview of the class, and then doing thorough research on this class of material. And you can see here, I'm just giving you a few images of this is one of this was one of the backbone of the polymer that the first polymer that I prepared during when I started this research. Then later on, as I said, we did a lot of studies on the side groups, and you can see here it's an inkjet printed film of this material, and you can see a combinatorial effect of side chain and film thickness, bringing in nuance of colors, which you could use for light emitting diodes and so on and so forth. So let me leave that part. And the other aspect about me is that I said, if I would just let me do it before going back. Let me go back here. That I said languages, if you can see down here, I speak English, French, German, Pidgin English, because I'm for most of you also in Nigeria, speak Pidgin English, Kenyan, my mother tongue, modern Hebrew, I've learned. I'm now learning Spanish. I'm a Christian. As I said, I cannot separate my spiritual life from my research life. And as I told you, by praying, that's how God gave me the idea to start this class of material that I showed you. And God led that reviewer to reject my first paper, which made me to broaden my research field and what I've been doing up to today. And by the grace of God, I've been an initiator of many institutions. You can see here, I've initiated the German Cameroonian Coordinator Office. Initiated the ANSOL. I initiated another one called Baliwa, Bridging Africa, Latin America. I've been initiating a lot of things, and I'm most at the forefront of not only institution but many forefront of many ideas, and which are which we can materialize. And as you know, also, I'm evaluator of many international funding agencies. So this aspect of language is very important for you. That's what I was saying. For you to build a network, don't be limited only. English language is wonderful, but for me to initiate, for instance, the Ansol network, or become the chairperson of that the Ansol network, it is because I can speak French and English. When we started, then we initiated the network in 2010 in Sousse. Were 9 of us, and I was the only person speaking French and English. So I had 7 guys from North Africa, and myself I was coming from Germany, Austria, and then 1 guy from Ethiopia who could not understand French. So I was told, okay, you are the only person speaking both languages. You have to lead this first initiating gathering. So, and when we decided to, that's how I got into it. Actually, the idea of creating this African network for solar energy is an idea that I proposed during a conference in Tunisia, but I was not expecting to lead it. Actually, I was saying it's an African thing. I'm based in Europe, but because of language capability, the fact that I can speak both languages, French and English, I found myself forced by others, other initiators, to lead. And later on, when we launched it, they said, you are our leader. You understand the 2 main languages spoken, the colonial language spoken in Africa. So to say how language can open doors apart from your scientific knowledge that you do. And presently, as the African Network of Solar Energy, we do a lot of things. I pop through my German, the fact that I speak German, we are also publishing a magazine on migration, which is far from natural sciences. And this is my major thing where I earn also money now, where we are really doing documentation of, it's really, I could say, it's communication, journalism, and so on, just because I speak those languages. So this African Network of Solar Energy has become very known. That's through the network that I know Professor Musa, and because I came to Mina to give a lecture there, and we've been doing a lot of activities, and we have been recognized by the United Nations after we submitted our energy compact. That's for us a great recognition for a network in worldwide, actually, that the United Nations recognizes you, and yeah. And presently we have a platform which I invite you young people to join. There's an Ansol eConnect if you're working in the field of sustainability, renewable energy. This is a platform that you should register on the platform to start connect with others. I said networking is very important for a scientist. Scientists need good ideas. A scientist should speak languages. If I'm to summarize what I've said so far, a scientist, for me, as a spiritual person, should learn also prayers is part of. You cannot separate science from spirituality. That's my opinion. Everybody has his opinion. For me, that's how things have worked well. That's how I'm known at the international platform, is because I pray. I pray a lot, and I see God answering prayers. Okay, so and then our network is now covering a lot of international students who are in Germany, especially coming from the US, from Malawi, Nigeria, Zimbabwe. So they do internship with us. So you can see this African network has these pillars. You can see here our original Ansol. Then we have a focal point of people of African origin, where we do counseling for migrants of all sorts, students, refugees, and so on. We have this Ansol eConnect, then the migrant, this is the magazine. And the whole concept of Ansol, I would say, is based on the principle of passing it on, means you receive and give. And it's also a biblical, I said, based on my Christian background, I said we are called not to be egocentric. That's why I said I know a bit of Africa, and I know what is on in most of African countries. We have been bred to make it quickly, make fast money, and which is not, that should not be our life principle. The life principle should be to share. If God has given you, you give, and that's and if you see this this slide showing this different thing, all are geared to be a blessing. I receive and I give, and this is the second. I always say this: the second law of thermodynamic. The second law of in the second law of thermodynamic, you have the entropy law. Okay. And there you have delta G, the free energy, the free energy, the free enthalpy. Yeah. And the free enthalpy consists of let's say the delta. We take the delta from delta G equals to delta H minus T delta S. Delta S is the change in entropy, and that change in entropy in the case of delta G consists of the entropy of your system and the entropy of the surrounding. And this word surrounding is very important. So you for you to be a useful energy, which is also G is a useful energy. The free enthalpy is a useful energy. For you to be useful, you take care of you think about your surrounding. And I try to link it with the biblical verse of Genesis 12, verse 2, where God tells Abraham, I shall bless you and you shall be a blessing. So you receive and you give. You don't receive and keep. But the capitalistic and materialistic world today, and seeing what is going on in Africa and also even in research field, instead of sharing knowledge or sharing, we just want to get. Give me, because I want to glorify myself. But focus of Ansel is to receive and to give, okay, and to give. And we are trying to give in different level, not only in the science level, but also in helping of people, especially in the case where we are in Jena, Germany, and we have African refugees, we have African students, scholars who are there, and they come to us either to do internship, either when they have problems of any kind, we are there to support them. They're part of passing it on, and which is very important. I say you can relate biblical verses to, for me, in the case Genesis chapter 12, verse 2, and the second law of thermodynamic. Okay, so but one can preach on that thing for long, but I don't want to waste much time. This upcoming event of Ansol, we will have an event in Morocco this year. Then we have we always organize a session during the UN General Assembly, and we are going to have a world conference in Korea where we are co-organizing with Korean colleagues, and then so. Actually, this is what I wanted, but I've spoken a lot. So I believe I will not say everything today. Please tell me when you think the time is. I will stop. I will continue at the next time. But what I would like us, when it comes to research situation in Africa, I would like us to start by. I want to share with you these few points, which is written here. I said, due to the less advanced level of technological development and its abundance renewable energy resources, Africa has the potential and so on to play a leading role in climate-friendly and sustainable energy transition based on the following. We need real independence, political stability, and security in the continent. External influences should be minimized. So there's a video that you need to watch. I will share this slide I'll give it to Professor, and he can give you. And the second point is African government should allocate at least 1% of the GDP in research and development. If not, the aspiration of the Agenda 2063, the African one, will remain forever aspiration. It will never become reality. I hope that most of you know about the different agendas. We have Agenda 2030, the SDGs, because these are things that you have to, when you are writing proposals nowadays, for an African researcher, please, you always have to mention the SDGs, the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. So, your research should focus or your research, while you are writing the proposal, you should say, okay, my research wants to solve a problem on SDG 7, for instance, when it comes to energy, in our case, or SDG 6, water and sanitation, and so on and so forth. And also you have this Agenda 2063, 50 years after independence, the African heads of state decided to, at least the African Union decided to proclaim this Agenda 2063, the Africa one with a series of aspiration. And I hope that you know about it. You can go online and find it. Yeah. And what the most important thing which I want you to learn is Africans should start trusting themselves and be ready to do practical mistakes. Most of you are going to become leaders in your various countries. All what I'm trying to say up to now about this idea of passing it on, the idea of not being too egocentric, the idea of allocating 1% of the, because I know you are going to be the leaders in the future, whether at the university level or at the national level. So if you can master all these ideas, you'll be another person, and you impact your society differently. Yeah, because if I see Nigeria is a very rich country. I know it's extremely rich, but not all Nigerians are benefiting from that region. Many Nigerians, I know many students in my city, many are leaving. I met a young lady who told me last time, she came to do a master in my city in Germany. She said, I've had hard life. I want to enjoy now soft life because of the hardship she went through. She has a husband and 2 kids, but she left them to come to Germany, and she's doing everything to bring the family over. And many Nigerians are living, although Nigeria is so rich, it's because most of those who are in power think about themselves, about just filling their pockets and compromising doing a lot of things which doesn't help the development of of the country, which doesn't help people, let me say, the majority of the Nigerians to benefit from the world that Nigeria has. So, and when it comes to research and development, if our government cannot allocate enough funding for research, how can we develop? How can we innovate? And this is an aspect which is hindering research in Africa. So the other aspect is Africans should start trusting themselves and be ready to do practical mistakes. We are training some engineers, but when it comes to building our roads and strategic infrastructure, what do? We call Chinese, we call the foreigners. Why can't we do as what now Burkina Faso is doing? They are building more than 200 kilometers road between the Ouagadougou and a city called Bogo, something like that, and using just their engineers. They say we don't want any person from abroad. Let our engineers do it. Let them do mistake and learn from their mistake. That's the only path that Africa can come out of can solve its development issues. We should not train engineers and prefer foreign engineers when it comes to building infrastructure, doing anything which is important for our countries. This is an issue which is not only for Nigeria; it's an issue all over. And so I will go quickly. I give some citation of Dr. Akinwumi Adesina. I think he's the president of the African Development Bank. He's a Nigerian actually, and what he said some years ago, 2018, Africa must prepare its people for the job of the future, not those of the past. Africa must accelerate higher education and vocational and technical training in building the skill of the future. In particular, greater emphasis should be placed on digitalization, mathematics, material science, biotechnology, engineering, and so on and so forth. The continent needs to be strong in research and development, and this is a significant challenge. According to the UNESCO, regional average of GDP share committed to research and development are around 2.1% for East Asia and the Pacific, 2.4% for North America and Western Europe, and a vanishing 0. Now it has gone maybe to 0.5 or 6% for Sub-Saharan Africa. So most and this is a big issue, that very little money is allocated for our education, very little money is allocated for research and development. This slide depicts it once more, that Africans are contributing. Just you can see we have 30.4% of world population. We have only 92 researchers per million inhabitants, and around 1.4% global scientific publication. And as I say, around now 0.5% of GDP spent on research and development as compared to other part of the world. So which is very detrimental. You can see this slide gives you the investment and in research and development in percentage of GDP. Israel and South Korea, Swiss, are the one leading with above 4%. If you go through this slide, you hardly all the African countries are below 1%. Okay, for instance, the first African country that I can see here is Kenya, with another South Africa. Yeah, South Africa 0.8%, and Kenya, and the rest are coming. And you have countries like Uganda 0.17%, and some countries like Cameroon don't even appear because they don't even think of really funding research. So that's the situation in Africa. And you see the self-perceived challenges to career of young researchers. For research, the first problem is lack of research funding. That's and lack of funding for research equipment, balancing work and family demands, lack of mentoring and support, lack of mobility opportunities, and so on. So I said these slides, I will share it with you. And research cannot be done without energy. And as I was giving you what Dr. Adenisi was saying, and here the president of the African Development Bank, Dr. Adenisi Development Agenda for Africa, includes the transformative 5 priority themes: light up Africa and power Africa, feed Africa, industrialize Africa, integrate Africa, improve the quality of life for the people of Africa. And without, tell me if time is short, I will stop. If the moderator, you have to just make a sign, then I should go quickly. Here you have the access to electricity in Africa. And you can see many African countries, apart from the North African countries, where the access rate is 100%, and South Africa is around 94%. Although now South Africa is going through difficulties, they have also strong intermittence of electricity. Almost all other African countries have problem of electricity, and I know the situation in Nigeria. You yourself, you know what you are going through, and under that condition, how can you carry out good research? And this is hindering a lot. I remember when I went to MENA to 2019 that was to give a keynote lecture, and during my lecture, the light went off, so it disrupted. And I said, if you are carrying out a chemistry reaction, a chemical reaction, you need permanent electricity, and that's why we are lagging behind because of this lack of energy. And if you have this slide shows you the electricity access in the top 20 asset deficit country. Do you know that Nigeria tops the asset deficit country worldwide, with almost 100 million people without access to electricity? And this plays a big role in our development program. If we don't have permanent electricity, electrical energy is paramount for everything, for good research, for industrial development, and for all that aspect of life. Without electricity, nothing can work well. And you can see most of the first 4 countries are African countries: Nigeria, Democratic Republic of Congo, Ethiopia. The first 3. Then comes Pakistan. Yeah, so it's an issue which we have to address, and I think there are possibility of addressing it. I say that's why we created the Ansol to see how through renewable energy we can fill the gap. Yeah. So I will maybe show you this slide, and I will end up there. Yeah. So the necessary measure to attain international standard when it comes to research, we need a conducive study and research environment, which means available, permanent, and environmental friendly electrical energy. In our case, when I say if I'm promoting renewables, universities, if you are not connected to grid, why not have your own generate your own electricity by using solar panels? Yeah. When I came to MENA, I had interacted with the VC there, and the idea was to install solar panels at the university campus so that the university can has permanent electricity. And I know that I've just read of recent that there's one Nigerian university using some funding from the World Bank and also from the federal state. I think it's LIFA, if I'm not mistaken. They have now permanent electricity and all 24 hours, so which is per day and yeah, the whole month and the whole year, which is something very advisable, and that universities should have used the off-grid solution to supply electricity. Then another very, very important aspect for you who are going to be also leaders, and for you also to conduct good research, if there in Nigeria presently, you need a clean and functional sanitation and clean environment. I do a lot of, as I said, I do evaluation for the World Bank and for other institutions when it comes to selecting so-called African Center of Excellence or African hosting universities. During my evaluation tour to some university, what I check is their sanitation, their toilets. So in most, I want to say I can distinguish between West Africa and East Africa. The East Africa, most of the East African universities, especially, I've been to Rwanda, I've been to Uganda, I've been to Kenya, Tanzania, and then also the Southern African universities. I would say more than 60% have very nice sanitation system. The toilets are kept clean. The things are, yeah, you can study in a very nice environment. But I discovered that in the West African universities, it was a problem. I've visited Burkina Faso and Ghana and so on and so forth, and we have interviewed also female students who complain that, okay, when they are going through their menses, they have to stay at home because the toilets are, the whole thing is a mess for them, okay? And this is an aspect which you as a leader in the future, and if you are appointed head of department or appointed VC, please think about giving a good, conducive, a clean environment for the students. With that clean environment, if you want to ease yourself, you'll be thinking for the male student, male researcher, they can go to the bush and do whatever. But a female researcher has difficulties. So yeah. So I said also health and safety regulation taken serious, and permanent maintenance and repair entity. And this is a big problem with many African research environment. When something gets bad, there's no repair, and we have to cultivate that spirit of maintenance. And what the last point here is permanent, easy accessibility of high-speed internet. Everything nowadays without internet, yeah. So those are aspects that we should take serious if we want to attain the international standard, because Africans abroad are doing wonderful, they're contributing wonderfully because they find such a conducive study and research environment, so they compete and they're even better than even their European peers. So if we can do the same in our African environment, we are going to be very innovative. New ideas will come up, and as I said, we have to trust ourselves for what we produce in the lab. Let's try to apply in it in our day-to-day life, and we don't need to always bring foreigners in our countries to do the basic things that we are building our infrastructure. And the other very important point, which I've spoken up already about, this 1% GDP, which is very important, money for research and development. The other important point is how is knowledge transmitted nowadays. I said adopt the fourth industrial revolution in all higher education processes. Knowledge acquisition is not limited to a lecture room, classroom. The World Wide Web digital world is the classroom of today. Yeah, so the lecturer or supervisor takes the role of a mentor. He or she is really is not ashamed to learn from the student. So this is something some of you want to be lecturers, some of you want to go this academic path. With the advent of internet, all information are found online. You can do, if you want to have the best chemistry lecture, go Google, you'll find it. I know a lecturer in Rwanda who she's a physics lecturer at the Polytechnic. She says she goes in the internet and gets all her lecture. So don't be ashamed. You will not invent the rule, the wheel. Everything is there. So use these tools which are online. So that's why I said a lecturer is not ashamed to learn from the student, because if a student has the opportunity to go online, he can learn a lot from there. He doesn't even need your lecture. He can even come and teach you. But you as a mentor, you understand certain things, you are matured, you can guide the person. Knowledge is there online. So we have knowledge there. And we should even encourage students to go online and prepare themselves even before they come for a certain lecture. You will facilitate your lecture because they know. And if they correct you, say, oh, I read this, then you be ready to say, okay, yeah, I'm ready to learn from you, my student. Nobody knows everything. Even if you have a PhD in physics or in mathematics or whatever, in chemistry, you don't know all aspects of chemistry. So you should be humble enough to say, okay, I'm also ready to learn. All of us, we have to go through what we call the lifelong learning. So it's a normal aspect of life. So this advent of internet plays a big role. When we have to, I want just to raise this awareness that use this possibility. If you have good high-speed internet, which is very important. If you don't have, that's a problem. And I know most time when we do webinars with people from Africa, there's issue of connectivity with internet. But if one has this thing, let's use it and use it efficiently. And also giving lectures, for instance. Now I'm speaking to you, sitting in somewhere in Austria and talking to you. So for those also universities like Prof. Ayuk, who are creating platform where people can learn, through this means of online, the online platform is ideal, and you can get the best lecturers worldwide. And I said, when it comes to energy, if you want, I can provide you lecturers from Morocco to, I don't know, USA, and every topic. I have that pool, that database, so people can help and even mentor you from being somewhere abroad. So this is something which is very, very important for us to know, especially this last slide. So I would say always, always think of the SDGs in every action. The SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals, as I was saying at the beginning, for you to submit a proposal, you always have to refer for you to have funding. So you cannot just write a proposal and don't mention either. For you as an African, you have these two things: the SDGs, the Agenda 2030, and the Agenda 2063. Those are the two important agenda that you, as a researcher looking for funding, you should always mention in your proposal, so that to prove that you understand how things are going, what is expected globally and what is expected at the continental level when it goes to research and development. So I think this is what I want just to say. I would have gone to certain details, but I did not really have enough time to prepare because I've been so charged these last days, and it was of short notice, but I believe I will be with you and I will prepare myself next time better to give you certain things, some certain details, what I spoke when it comes to the principle of passing it on, for instance, the second law of thermodynamics, how you can apply it in real life and also in your life of research and as an individual. But what you can retain today is, as a summary, for you to have if you want to do research, first of all, you should always searching, have this spirit of searching, as is said in Matthew chapter 7, verse 7. Search and you will find. Okay, have this spirit. I am searching, but I said most time what you are searching, you will not find what you are searching. You are going to find something, but because you have this spirit of searching, God is going to open a door. That's what happened with me. I was trying to do something else in my habilitation, and I tried, but God diverted my attention because I was searching. I found something which has made me publish a lot of papers this year. I've published almost all the important in Nature, JACS, whatever, advanced material. I've published all the big high impact factor journals, and using just this class of material. And I spoke about when it comes to research, be a conservative person. Conservative research approach means go deeper, don't just go superficially. Then when a hot topic, somebody starts a hot topic, you jump and pick that topic also and forget what you started already. I say that's research prostitution. That should not be the case. Concentrate, go deeper, and you develop new insight will be developed, knowledge will be created, and everybody will profit from it. And then I spoke about this multilingual aspect. So learn other languages is broadening your network. Only through networks you can be known, and okay, most of you are known. Use all the social media, which is very also important, LinkedIn and so on, where you present yourself and approach people, contact people, be proactive. That's what I would say. Be proactive when you want to build your network, and with the online tools, you can do a lot. I want to give you an example. When I went to Malaysia this year for a conference, one young lady attended that conference from Uganda. She's called Agatha. She approached me. She said, "Prof, do you know me?" I said, I don't know you. But she said, "I contacted you around 6 or 7 years ago and through LinkedIn. And I was asking a question about something in Uganda. You linked me with one member of your network and so." And through that connection, I'm here today to this event. And through that connection, one thing led to another. She's now doing international research and so on and so forth. So you can build your network using such tools like LinkedIn and so on and so forth. So, and the other aspect which I've mentioned is this slide tells you, it summarizes all. I don't want to waste your time. Next time we'll go to certain details if I'm given the opportunity. I'll prepare myself better. But today I had to do things, so just pick up some of my old slides and just speak with you without showing you some details. So thank you very much. think we can come back to, yeah. How much time did I take?
Thank you very much.
I took more than half an hour. I took a lot of time. I'm sorry.
Thank you very much, Professor Daniel Egbe. I'm sure everyone has learned so much from you today. If you have learned one thing or two from today's presentation, please show by using your emojis to say thank you to Professor Egbe. Thank you.
I'm sorry, my presentation was not well organized. I said, but next time I will come and give you, I'll give you deeper things with well organized, and yeah. But I have a lot of information in my head, but I just try to give you some few things. But I hope that you've learned. Each person has picked one thing or the other, and as what I want to mention is that hard work with spirituality is the goal for success. I mean, hard work with prayers is the goal for success in your research and in everything. And it's also the goal for success in our countries if we stop becoming too egocentric. We are too egocentric in Africa just because we want to prove to people that we have achieved, we have this, we have that, we have cars, but your legacy, what is your legacy at the end of the day? Your legacy will not be the car that you had. Your legacy will be how have you impacted lives? And let it be your goal. How many people have I touched through in the course of my life? How have I transformed other people's lives? Let it be your legacy. Let not be, as I know in Nigeria and some tribe, the big house that you have in the village, the number of cars, the shy, let it not be your legacy. That's what I want to say to all of you.
Thank you so much, Prof. Please, everyone, share your thoughts about this lecture with us in the in-call messages, the chat room. Share your thoughts about the lecture. Say a big thank you to Professor Egbe, and we'll surely want to have you with us again to share your wealth of knowledge and experience with us. Thank you so much, Prof. We're grateful. Mina, please take over from here. Please, everyone, continue to share your thoughts about the lecture. Thank you. I've seen some already. Beautiful lecture. I learned a lot, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Keep them coming. Great lecture, Prof. Highly impactful. I've learned so much. Please keep them coming. Thank you so much. Mina, over to you.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much, everyone. I'm sure we learned a lot from Professor Daniel's lecture. Particularly, I learned a lot. I know mindset of a researcher. There's one thing he said: be proactive and keep searching. You may not really find what you're looking for when you search, but who knows? What you're looking for may lead even to another bigger discovery. And we must network. We must be proactive. We must trust ourselves to make mistakes. Trust ourselves that we have what it takes to be world-class researchers, and as we do so, God is here to help us. So now, are there any questions from Professor Daniel's that we have for Professor Daniel? Are there any questions? If there are any questions, kindly signify.
I think Emmanuel has his hand up.
Okay.
Abigail John too has her hand up. Let's do that quickly because day is fast spent. We still have 3 other sessions to go. Thank you.
Okay. All right. We'll start with you, Sir Emmanuel. You have just 3 minutes, and Abigail, you also have 3 minutes. Thank you. You may start, Emmanuel.
Sorry, it's a mistake. I don't have any question. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right. You have you, Abigail. Thank you.
Okay, good morning. Thank you very much. Thank you, Professor, for the insightful class. My question is, I think one thing that interests me is I'm a graduate of chemistry, so I was so attentive throughout the process. I don't want to miss a thing. My question is, how did you decide, how did you choose your niche? Because that's one challenge I am personally facing. During my undergraduate study, I carried out a research on nanotechnology, and currently I am working as a research and development chemist in a cosmetic lab. I am I have so many research interests. So how did you end up niching down to, because you started, I heard from the whole polymer down to energy. Like how did you niche down, and or was it a process that you went, okay, I found this, I found that? Because you said you kept building on your research till this point. So how did you, like a guidance on how to niche down? Thank you.
Yeah. Um, I cannot give a final answer, let me say, an absolute answer to this question. Is it? It's a mixture of many things. I told you, for me to get the idea to start my habilitation, I started working. I actually, I had a photoactive material which came from my PhD research. So I wanted to use this photoactive material and incorporate it in commodity polymer, polyurethane, and I had difficulties. But and through these difficulties, I had to think. I was trying to solve the difficulty. Then, on the way of trying to solve it, I discovered that the only way to get to that commodity polymer, having this building unit, I will need to reduce, first of all, build an aldehyde, then reduce it into alcohol and so on. But when I got to this aldehyde, I said, but aldehyde, with the aldehyde, I can do something else. I can transform it into a double bond. So, and that's how I got into it, by praying. So there is a combination of searching and spirituality. It's funny to say it, but this is how I got to be where I am today. I am searching and I'm praying, and God gives inspiration. This is the truth for my case. So that for me, it's very difficult to give a definite answer. If you have the desire, the most important thing is to have this desire to achieve something. Just continue to search. As I said, search, and while you are searching, you will find something, but you are not always going to find what you are searching. You are going to find something, but God rewards people who are hardworking. This is what I've noticed in life. So long as you're hardworking, you are looking for something, God, He is the one who says, search and you will find. Search and you will find. You will find something if you continue. Combine this aspect of searching and prayer, and you get to your goal. That's my answer. This answer is not the final answer, but this is what I can give you out of my own personal experience: is searching, then praying, and I got where I am today. Because there are many things, many factors playing. You can meet somebody. If I have to give, I can write down. Each one of us can write thousands of answers how to get to the right research topic. There are many possibilities. But what I experienced, what I was searching and I was praying, then I got where I got to. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Prof.
Okay, thank you very much, Prof. Miss Abigail, we believe your question has been answered.
Yes, thank you very much. I'm grateful.
All right.
We keep
I
in
also
touch,
saw.
Abigail. As you say, you're a chemist. We'll keep in touch. My contact data, you can contact me. We can continue the discussion. But I said I will come again and bring you some details. Some of the things that I said today, you cannot visualize. I'll bring it. You can visualize it and understand what I mean. What I'm saying. My preparation was too short, so I just picked some slide I had done already. So, but we keep in contact. I know that you are not 100% satisfied, Abigail, but we'll keep in contact.
Okay, all right then. Thank you, Abigail. I also noticed Kolo Zakaria raised a hand. Is it to ask a question, sir? Okay, all right then. We'll proceed to the next session then. So
I will have to
our
leave.
next.
I will have to leave. I thank you very much for the time spent together.
Okay, sir, that's
And
fine. Thank you very
I'm
much.
in contact with Professor Musa, and We'll see as this Frontier Scholars Hope continues. I hope to be part of you and to bring my input one way or the other in the future. So have a nice day. I have to. My son had his 15th anniversary, so I need to go for the celebration. That's why I came to us
Thank you
first.
so much, Prof. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
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 Thank you
Bye.
very much, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, goodbye, sir. Thank you for that wonderful session. Now we'll move on to our next session. Our next session is titled From Mentee to Q1, Q2 Publication, My Journey. So it's going to be a personal experience kind of session. Our speaker, Kolawole Harun Aremu, represents what this academy is designed to achieve: transformation through structure, mentorship, and disciplined scholarship. Our speaker, Kolawole Harun Aremu, is a Nigerian biomedical scientist whose work focuses on infectious diseases and host pathogen interactions. He's currently pursuing his PhD at Mississippi State University in the United States and was named a 2024 Early Career Grant awardee by the Royal Society of Tropical Medicine and Hygiene, UK, highlighting his growing international recognition. His academic foundation is in molecular biology and biochemistry, and he serves on the faculty of the Department of Biochemistry at Osun State University. There, his research explores how hosts defend against pathogens, how pathogens cause disease, and how infections spread, contributions that support better public health strategies in sub-Saharan Africa. Aremu has published peer-reviewed studies on antimicrobial resistance, vector biology, and the genetic makeup of disease vectors, reflecting his commitment to tackling urgent health challenges in the region. By linking laboratory science with real-world health concerns, he is emerging as a leading voice among Africa's next generation of researchers. Through his doctoral work and active engagement in academic communities, Aremu is helping to shape multidisciplinary approaches to infectious disease research and strengthen Africa's role in global health science. So everyone, please join me in warmly welcoming Mr. Kolawole Harun Aremu. Over to you, sir.
Yeah. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me?
Good morning. If you can speak up a bit, we can barely hear you.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me now? So.
Yeah, it's better, but
Yes,
can still go up.
Okay. What about now, sir? Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. So good morning, everyone, my colleagues, and good morning of my mentor. So my name is Kolawole Harun Aremu, and I'm actually thankful for this privilege to have this discussion with my colleagues on the invite of my very much appreciated mentor. So the first is I'd like to going straight to the topic, but before I move on, venture into the topic which I'm invited to speak about, I would like to essentially highlight the role of Professor Dixon. I know he's definitely listening, but it's actually important for me to first highlight his impact on my journey since I basically met in 2016 at Miami University, basically. So Professor Dixon has actually been deeply helpful, and like when the person that introduced me was actually like trying to read some of my
Sorry, some people are still complaining that they cannot hear you. I don't know if you can arrange your mic well.
Okay,
I'm
let me
getting
just.
some things.
I'm just.